Um, Love is Blind, season 10 finale. The weddings have happened, right? And Brittany, oh my God, that was kind of hard to watch. All right, now in retrospect, thinking about you know who I thought would have made it, I should have did predictions in the beginning of this because I can't think about it now. But I'm gonna do predictions next season, because I saw a couple of other people do that, and I feel like it is fun to go back and see what you got right. Um, the one couple that I did think was gonna do good was Christine and Vic. I mean, obviously they have a genuine connection, but um, Love is Blind is hating on them because why didn't we get more with them? I don't know, but I guess it's kind of like compared to all the drama that all of the other couples have, it kind of makes their storyline seem a little boring because things are going good, right? But I don't know, but happy for them. So Love is Blind finale episode, weddings happened. Some weddings did happen, some people did not get married. All right. So we're gonna talk about why people ignore red flags though, because we're gonna continue to encounter this in future seasons. Okay. Um, and I was talking about in the last episode, like you cannot date off of potential because the potential that you see is your thoughts and your hopes about what could happen. It doesn't necessarily mean the person that you're with has the same thought about the potential of the relationship, right? And so that's kind of what stuck out to me in this in this, especially in this last episode. Okay. We're gonna start with Brittany and Devonte because Brittany was not picking up what Devonte was putting down, right? And one part is like he should have just been really, really blunt about it, but a lot of guys are like that, right? They expect for you to get the hint, and she just was not getting the hint. It's like in the pause he was okay, but then once they got out, he did disengage and he was dry. I mean, that's the main word that I can use to describe him. He was just dry. You know what I'm saying? Dry as Devonte. Okay, and that right there, it that right there made Brittany go into action to start to try to make him happy, right? And that's kind of what happens in real life as well. Like even people do it. Um, the most simple example I can talk about in dating and talking to people is it happens during text, right? Now, texting is a means of a form of communication, right? But you should not be spending an extra long time texting. You should be spending time together in person. Okay, texting is should be used to make plans and stuff like that, but don't use that as the conversation holder. All right, like you're not having deep conversations on text. You're not doing any of that because no, what happens in texting and dating sometimes is you feel like you're getting closer to the person because you're texting, but you're not really, nothing's really actually happening. You know what I'm saying? And so when you are when you're having a conversation with the opposite sex, right? And that person is not giving you back the conversation that you need, and you thinking, oh, well, let me just keep the conversation going. That is emotional labor that you don't need to be doing. Okay. No. So that's kind of what happened in the physical version with Brittany. It's like she saw him and they started to start their relationship, and then he started to pull back and she started to lean even more forward, and that's not what you want to do. Like she should have had a point where she was like, hold up, he needs to work out whatever it is that's going on with him. um that's just how I see that. But anyway, you can get in the comments below, but she had a whole bunch of red flags that she just kind of did not choose to see. And it's probably more than we even know because we only saw what we saw on camera. You know what I mean? But if he was saying the stuff that he was saying on camera, I can only imagine what he was saying off camera, or what kind of like conversation he would have when he was having it. But it's like she didn't meet his mom, and the ex coming out to expose him kind of just told the whole story about that because it was a similar situation. You know what I'm saying? He broke up with her through text, which is crazy. um but she was really hurt about it. So if y'all haven't watched that interview, you got to check out that interview over there on Reality Receipts. But she Brittany is the she that I'm talking about. It was like she still was saying maybe when he was definitely saying not right now. And I was just like, girl, no, it's not a maybe. I mean, anything other than yes is no. Okay, so let him go. Let him go. I can't wait to see the reunion. I hope that since then she has begun to see how she don't need to do the things she was doing in the relationship with Devonte with anybody else, because it was clear that he wasn't going to um he wasn't into it. All right. They didn't go to the altar, but it looked like they decided that on the day of, and they kind of had this awkward conversation on the couch, and she was like touching his leg and stuff, and he was just ready to go. Okay, he couldn't wait to leave with all his bags and stuff. And she was just like, yeah, we're still doing this and we're still getting married. And, and it's just like, she didn't see any of the red flags, or maybe she did and she chose to ignore them. All right. Cause that's the other question I have. It's like not only why do people ignore red flags, but it's like, what are you thinking when you ignore the red flags? Are you thinking that they're going to change? Are you thinking that, you know, um, it'll get better? Are you thinking that you don't want to be wrong because you made this decision on TV and you want to kind of see it through? Like I feel like some of that, a lot of all of that is true, right? People try to save face. If you do something in the front, in the front of the world, it's like the world now feels like they're a part of it. Okay. And I don't know, but I'm so glad they didn't get married, because he even had a little segment and said that, in the past he would have gone through with it and then figured out how to get divorced, which he's not a good communicator, because that's crazy. Like, why would you have people doing crazy stuff? Like, for instance, right, the ex that came out, her name was Taylor. She said that he had her buy a ticket. He let her buy a ticket, a plane ticket to come see his family, when he knew good and well he ain't have no intentions on introducing her to his family. So it's like, why do people let people do stuff like that? Why can't you just, it's so much better if you could just say no up front, let the awkwardness happen, but you gave the person the respect of making a choice, versus now you just look like a douche, like a bad person. You know what I'm saying? So Brittany dodged the bullet, even though she was trying to get hit by it. So I hope that she realizes that was not for her. Okay. Because Devonte, dry as Devonte, no. But it wasn't just Brittany though, because it was Jordan. Jordan was full of doubt too. Listen, go with your gut, okay? Because I feel like we're gonna see something different in the reunion. But Jordan and Amber, they got married, but it was the energy of the people in the audience was wild, because the audience of the wedding, because everybody cheered like they were shocked. Now her brother did tell her that he would be shocked if they both said yes. And Amber, thought that she already knew that Jordan was nervous and stuff, right? I mean, he was super nervous. He even hugged his sister and was like, I don't know what to do, like right before he walked down the aisle. Now, I know people that, get nervous. I've been in several weddings. Listen, I am everybody's bridesmaid, okay? I've been in so many weddings, all right? So I know that people get nervous before they walk down the aisle, but Jordan was like he said, he didn't know what to do, all right? Now, his family was worried about him as well. It kind of seemed really somber while they was sitting in there, talking about him about to go down the aisle. It just seemed like, oh my God, it's so heavy in here or whatever. So, but like I said, Amber's brother told her that he'd be shocked if they both said yes, but they both said yes anyway. Everybody cheered or whatever, and they looked so happy, and her daughter was there and all of that. But how risky was that though? Like, how risky was that? Because I wouldn't have, definitely wouldn't have had my daughter there. I know it's a wedding, it's gonna be on TV, but if y'all had not like solidified this yes, right? I don't know. Now that's traumatic. She didn't have that's gonna be on TV forever, on the internet forever. You guys got married. So I don't know, because I feel like I heard in the reunion that they're not together anymore. So I guess we'll be updated on that when we walk the reunion. Now, Emma and Mike did not get married, because Mike was like, okay, wait, let's stop, because they actually walked down the aisle. Emma said yes and Mike said no. And apparently, they had agreed not to say yes. And so I don't know what happened with Emma, but Mike basically was like, listen, I really need to be sure you can have kids. And honestly, Emma, if you are not 100% go on kids, let's keep on going with whatever you're doing, because it's not an easy job and you don't want to be half-assing it. Okay. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So keep going and with your with whatever thought process you have about that. You know what I'm saying? If Mike wasn't the one, he wasn't the one. But Mike walked away. He wanted to be sure he could have kids with his wife. You know, and that's something that as a woman I would want to take away from a man. So if I didn't want to have kids, I definitely would have to let the person go so they can find somebody who wants to have kids. So since she's been a hard no for a long time, I feel like Mike made her make the right choice. Okay. Now, Ashley. Okay. Ashley and Alex. Now, Ashley got up there with her closing arguments. Okay. She was ready. I know she was ready, but I feel like Ashley been knew. She been seeing that Alex wasn't shit. Now, I don't know if that was his suit. His suit didn't really look like it fit really well to me. And then he had like food in his beard or something, because at first I thought it was gray hair, but it was there for some scenes and then it wasn't. And I was like, they could have done that man better, because it stood out to me. Like, they're supposed to be looking at that stuff. But anyway, he just looked dingy to me. You know what I'm saying? Not that he was actually physically dirty, but he just kind of had a dingy aura to me. So Ashley said that she would have actually been shocked if Alex would have said yes. But what happened was, when they got down to the altar and the person asked them, are you gonna say yes, you know, say I do or whatever, I do or whatever, do you take this person? And she was gonna let Alex answer first. Alex hesitated, and then Ashley jumped in and was like, well, I know you're gonna say no and you're not gonna choose me, and I'm not choosing you either. And then she proceeded with her closing arguments. All right, she told him that he was not telling the truth about stuff. She told him a lot of stuff or whatever, right? His mother was, what did Eva Marcel say about the American's Next Top Model? She was gobsmacked. Okay, that's how I feel like his mother was, like, gobsmacked. She even said out loud, "Wow, like, you can't believe that somebody called your son a liar." Moms know their kids, and you know your son was lying. All right, lady, whatever. I just don't feel like Ashley should have like cut him off. I wanted to hear what he had to say. That's I wanted to hear what he was going to say, right? But she cut him off and was like, nah, before you can say it, I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not choosing you either. So, but like I said, I think she already saw those red flags beaming. I think she already knew. She just was getting herself together or whatever. It was kind of like she was waiting for him to prove her right or whatever. But no, we're not doing that. So they did not get married. And then somebody asked him, somebody from his family was like, oh, do you want to go check on her? And he was like, no, what? He just seems like a spiteful person anyway. But you know, it is what it is. Ashley made a good choice about that. Then we have Vic and Christine. All right, Vic and Christine. Christine hadn't got to meet Vic's mother and sister. I knew we didn't see his family. I was like, hold up, why we didn't see them? Maybe they were out of town or whatever, and they didn't get to come. But they made it to the wedding, and so they got to meet Christine. It was a good meeting. I actually really liked how they did Christine's hair in the back. How they did that little pin back there. But anyway, I was thinking about it in a Locks version. So, but I just wanted to say that. But they didn't get a lot of camera time. You know what I mean? And I wish them well. I feel like the mom, was happy to meet Christine. The sister seemed like she was excited as well. And they actually got married by his sister. She officiated the wedding. So both of them said yes, of course. There was no drama. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they got that edit though, because I feel like we wanted to see more of them. They didn't even go on the same trip. I want to know why they didn't go on the same trip. Christine did come on to the internet and say that there was no passport issues, okay? But she did not explain why they went to a different place than the other couples. Like, were they an afterthought? I don't know why they would have been an afterthought, though, because they were the first ones that they showed us to get engaged. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll hear more about that in the future. I don't know. But the pattern that I keep seeing is that people see these red flags. The red flags are like bright, and they just ignore them. You know what I'm saying? They I don't know what the deal is. So, what we got from this episode was that Mike and Ashley saw the red flags and chose to walk away. All right, Brittany and Jordan, I'm gonna say they saw the flags and ignored them because Brittany still wanted to go forward and marry Devonte, and Jordan actually went forward and married Amber. Now, which person are you? Okay, are you the person that ignores the red flags, or are you the person that sees them and goes the other way when you see them, right? Now, as you get older, I will say you get better at detecting or seeing the red flags and realizing that, okay, I don't want to deal with that right there, because certain small things lead to other things. But I will say this too. When the season first started, I felt like it was something about Amber that I could not put my finger on. It's something about her personality. Somebody said too, she reminds you of the lady. Oh, what was that lady's name on the Traders? Oh, somebody said it. I just can't remember who said it, and I now can't remember that person's name on. Was it Carolyn? There was a lady on the Traders that was so like she was a little bit high strung, and that's what actually came off to me as. So I don't know what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I feel like we're gonna find out at the reunion. I feel like we're gonna find out a little bit more information at the reunion. But also, I could see her wig. I could tell that she was wearing a wig some of the time. So I was just not all the way feeling that. But it is what it is. But bottom line, takeaways from this season, you know what I'm saying, is one, you cannot date people for potential. Okay, we're not doing that. All right, don't waste time hoping that somebody's changing. Don't do that. Okay, because red flags don't go away. All right, so if you notice them, you need to be prepared to figure out what you're gonna do about them. Right, they get bigger. They do not go away. All right. If you ignore something now, then you're likely going to regret it later. It's like not paying that little bill now is going to cost you more later, and you'll regret not paying it right off the break. All right. Just basically, my advice would be trust your gut. All right. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong or off, it probably is. All right. The reunion is next week. We're going to see if we get any more information on the couples that got married. Are they still married? How are they doing? What else are they going to announce at the reunion? Because I feel like the reunions each year is some little announcement or whatever. So anyway, that's all I have for this finale episode. You guys get in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm really honestly ready for the next season at this point. So I'm going to see y'all in the next video.